Hi, welcome. We're going to be working on the segment and raise portion of the Unit 1 Day 1 notes. Segment or line segment, important thing to know with a segment or line segment, has two endpoints. In fact, most of the things that you call a line in real life are actually line segments or segments. And they're abbreviated that way. A segment or line segment is named with a dash across the top of the two endpoints that are used to name it. So line segment AB is the same as line segment BA. And then the diagram, again, I'm going to use a straight edge using my Kohl's, reminding me that I need to get to Kohl's and use this $10 Kohl's cash that I have, otherwise it will go to waste. So here I have a point A and point B that I use then to make this segment. Now I've talked about endpoints, but I didn't really, define them. Endpoints are just points, and they're named as points. So in parentheses, I'm going to put points just to remind you that these are like points. And the endpoints in the diagram up above are actually these two here. So I have endpoint A and endpoint B. So those two are actually the endpoints for this particular example. The next part's ray. A ray has one endpoint, but then continues on forever in the direction. So ray has one endpoint, and then continues on forever in the opposite direction. So a way to think about this, if I have a ray, I start with the endpoint. So start with whatever endpoint is. So if I have ray AB, then I could have maybe say that is terribly drawn, I apologize. Let's fix that. Mistakes happen. It's helpful to own up to them and then fix them. Alright. So there's my endpoint. Notice my arrow to show that it continues on forever. And this is ray AB. Notice that I said that this is ray AB only. We can't name this any other way. You cannot name this ray BA. It is not. It is not. Not. Why? Because we start with the endpoint. So this and this here, that is where you started from. So you start there. This is not BA. It is not that. You can't write it. It's not the same. No good. Don't do that. I'm showing this because people make this mistake and it is bad. So don't do this. Please. The next one we have is opposite rays. Opposite rays are rays that share a common endpoint. So it's rays that share a common endpoint. And make a line. So the way that I make opposite rays is I essentially write out my two rays. So I'm going to do ray CA, and then I'm going to do ray CB. So these are my two opposite rays. So they make a line. So I'm going to go ahead and construct a line. So right now, it's just a dash on the paper. I drew my arrows to show that it goes on forever in both directions. My point that I'm going to put here in between the two ends is C. And then I have point A and point B. Now you saw me create this with a straight edge, so it shows that it goes straight across, that it continues on forever in both directions, and then I have a ray CA and ray CB. Notice that how I wrote this, even though the ray starts with C and it goes to the left, and that's okay. Let's maybe reverse for you. Goes to the left, that's okay. It's okay that it does that. In fact, to write the arrow or the arrow here facing the opposite direction would be wrong. So we always write it, the arrow going to the right. Always, always, always. Join me in the next video as I go over example 2.